Hey guys, I wanted to share with you a Leo Leone fable called Tico and the Golden Wings. And as I'm reading, I want you to be thinking about the message or the lesson. Tico is going to be our main character. We know that because he's a picture of him's on the cover, and Tico is his name, so he'll be our main character. And I think he learns an important lesson, actually, a couple of lessons as we read the story. So think about that. Okay. Tico and the Golden Wings. Many years ago, I knew a little bird whose name was Tico. Do you notice anything unusual about Tico? What do we know birds have? He would sit on my shoulder and tell me about the flowers, the ferns, and the tall trees. Once, Tico told me this story about himself. I don't know how it happened, but when I was young, I had no wings. I sang like the other birds and I hopped like them, but I couldn't fly. Luckily, my friends loved me. They flew from tree to tree, and in the evening, they brought me berries and tender fruits gathered from the highest branches. Often I asked myself, why can't I fly like the other birds? Why can't I, too, soar through the big blue sky, over villages and treetops? Pretty nice of his friends, right? Taking care of him, bringing him things to eat. And I dreamt that I had golden wings strong enough to carry me over the snow-capped mountains far away. So this is what Tico was dreaming of, these beautiful golden wings. One summer night, I was awakened by a noise nearby. A strange bird, pale as a pearl, was standing beside me. I'm the wishing bird, he said. Make a wish, and it will come true. I remembered my dreams, and with all my might, I wished I had a pair of golden wings. Suddenly there was a flash of light, and on my back there were wings, golden wings, shimmering in the moonlight. The wishing bird had vanished. Cautiously, I flapped my wings, and then I flew. I flew higher than the tallest tree. The flower patches below looked like stamps scattered over the countryside, and the river like a silver necklace lying in the meadows. I was happy, and I flew well into the day. But when my friends saw me swoop down from the sky, they frowned on me and said, You think you're better than we are, don't you, with those golden wings? You wanted to be different, and off they flew without saying another word. Poor Tico. When he went to see his friends, what do you think he was thinking they would do? Would they be happy for him? A good friend, a true friend, would be happy for him, right? So I'm wondering, are these true friends? They showed him a lot of kindness at the beginning of the story, but right now, they're not being very kind. Do you think maybe they're a little jealous that they don't have golden wings like that? And maybe they're not acting the way they should? Why had they gone? Why were they angry? Was it bad to be different? I could fly as high as the eagle. Mine were the most beautiful wings in the world. But my friends had left me, and I was very lonely. One day I saw a man sitting in front of a hut. He was a basket maker, and there were baskets all around him. There were tears in his eyes. I flew onto a branch from where I could speak to him. "Why are you sad?" I asked. "Oh, little bird, my child is sick, and I am poor. I cannot buy the medicines that would make him well." How can I help then? I thought. And suddenly I knew. I will give him one of my feathers. So do you see here in this picture, Tico's taking one of his feathers from his wings and giving it to the basket maker? Pretty generous thing, huh? "How can I thank you?" said the poor man happily. "You have saved my child, but look, your wing." Where the golden feather had been, there was a real black feather, as soft as silk. From that day, little by little, I gave my golden feathers away, and black feathers appeared in their place. I bought many presents: 3 new puppets for a puppeteer, a spinning wheel to spin the yarn for an old woman's shawl, a compass for a fisherman who got lost at sea. Here's a spinning wheel. We talked about those when we talked about how life has changed, and we saw a spinning wheel when we visited the McKinley Museum. Do you remember that? And then here's a compass that he bought for a fisherman. And when I had given my last golden feathers to a beautiful bride, my wings were as black as India ink. Look how beautiful his wings are. I flew to the big tree where my friends gathered for the night. Would they welcome me? They chirped with joy. "Now you are just like us," they said. We all huddled close together, but I was so happy and excited I couldn't sleep. I remembered the basket maker's son, the old woman, the puppeteer, and all of the others I had helped with my feathers. Now my wings are black, I thought, and yet I am not like my friends. We are all different, each for his own memories and his own invisible golden dreams. And that, my friends, is the end of our story. So I asked you to think about lessons you could learn from Tico and the Golden Wings. So a couple things I'm thinking. First, I'm thinking that Tico was incredibly generous, and even though he had these beautiful golden wings, the most beautiful wings in the world, he was plucking them out one by one and giving them to all of these people who were in need, which is an incredible thing to do. And at the end, when he comes back to his friends, they do welcome him back, but I'm just not really sure if those are true friends, or maybe they had just made a mistake and they were jealous of him, because sometimes we do get jealous. If somebody has something that we really, really want and we wish we had, it might make us jealous, and it might make us maybe not act the right way, act a little mean, act a little crabby towards them, right? So in the end, he comes back together with his friends, and he does something that we do sometimes when we're good friends. We forgive each other, because aren't we all human? And we all make mistakes, and we all do things sometimes that we're not proud of later. Remember, we talk about that feeling in your belly you get as soon as you do something. Sometimes oh, shouldn't have done that, right? So I think Tico forgave his friends, but he also realizes, even though they look the same, they're very different, right? Tico's experiences are different than any of his other friends. They all have their own memories and they're all different in different ways. So I think the main lesson is Tico came across something that was really fortunate, right? He had these golden feathers that were worth a lot of money, and he didn't keep all of that for himself, right? He gave some of that to others, which I think is a really important message from this story. We should be generous and giving of our gifts to others. Does that make sense? I hope you enjoyed this fable, and I will see you guys soon. Okay, bye.